All right, here we are. Hey,
Woo!
7:01. John's already on us. John's
401.
already noticing we're late. Sorry, guys. We usually go live a little bit with like some music so that people can get in here, but we were just chatting about all of my life woes, and so we kind of got rid of oh my god, got ahead of us. But anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. I got my Christmas gear on. Kanan doesn't because he doesn't like the season.
I got red.
Oh, there it is. Hey,
and my whole entire set behind me is Christmas, so you can.
That's right.
Off.
That's right. Yeah, you got a Krampus, and you got art back there.
I got two Krampuses. I got the big from the movie Krampus, but then I also have this little Krampus dude.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm super stoked on him. He's actually furry. He's the first Funko I've ever seen that actually has hair. It's all furry. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
You guys are gonna have to forgive my video quality sometimes. For some reason my internet is just being a little wonky, so I might be a little laggy. But so sorry about that. What's going on, James? Good to see you. Lux, how's it going? Good to see you. Otaku,
what's up, guys?
What's up, everybody? Todd, hey. Mr. Jim, how's it going? Yep, you're in the right place. You're right here. If you guys are watching on the Ghost Pirate side, please come over to the Death Rattle side. We'd love you to be watching over there. We're really trying to grow that channel. It'd be super awesome to see you, Lux, with a super
Thank you,
chat.
Lux.
$4.99. Feliz Navidad, hermano. Lots of love.
Sweet. Yeah, so we're basically just going to do kind of a Christmas hangout today. Talk with you guys. Talk about our plans for Christmas and what our favorite Christmas horror movies are, and really just, kind of a low-key hangout. So we would love to hear like your favorite Christmas horror movies in the comments. You can start throwing those out, or any Q&A stuff is fine today too. Like I said, just kind of a low-key. There isn't any super pressing news. There is a cool trailer, that new A24. Did you watch that yet?
I have not seen it yet. We can watch that.
Yeah, dude, it looks super fun.
Yeah, we could
kind of like, I don't know. We'll just watch the trailer, and then it's crazy. We didn't get flagged either for that last video, and I think it's because we paused and talked. So we need to like do that again, because that one I thought for sure. But
well, if it's transformative in some way, and for whatever reason, sometimes
that's what I mean. If we're pausing it. Because we don't usually pause it and talk in the middle of it that much.
Yeah, so that's what we have to do.
And like we didn't just do that, but we rewound and replayed parts, and like, because that's the key right there is transformative. So
right, yeah, we got to do that. I'm to be completely honest, I have not watched a lot of Christmas horror movies. I've watched a lot of the classics, like I've watched Black Christmas. I've watched I've watched an umpteenth amount of Krampus movies. I feel like there's just so many of them.
There is that's the thing. Like it's kind of like shark movies, right? There's a couple good ones and then a shit ton of horrible ones. And it's the same way with Christmas horror movies. But there are some gems, but there's a lot of Christmas quote unquote horror movies that are horror movies but just like take place on Christmas, like P2. Or so not, like P2 is awesome. I love that movie, but Gremlins? It's barely a Christmas horror movie. Well, Gremlins is a classic. Gremlins is one of those where I don't know if it even is a horror movie. A lot of people argue if it is or not, because it's very much like a kid movie. It fits into that E.T. almost, like in the E.T. world a little bit, where it's like, it's got horror elements. It's an entryway horror movie for sure, but
I'm not sure. Let me see here.
But like what I'm talking about is movies like A Christmas Horror Story. That is what I wish there was more of, where it's very entrenched with Christmas. It talks about Christmas. Christmas is the theme of it. There's lore and stuff about Christmas. Like it's all, the whole entire thing is very Christmas-esque. And it's like we have a lot of that when it comes to Halloween, but we don't for Christmas, and it's kind of a bummer. Man, Lex rolling in with another.
Lux with $1.99 says, "Can I get an amen? Christmas movies lean towards comedy." Yeah, I mean, Christmas movies lean towards comedy and family. That's the one genre. So if you guys want some, inside knowledge about the film business, family Christmas movies are the only genre to outperform horror movies in the box office.
They are actually the bread and butter of the industry.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't even realize that. It's where the vast majority of actors can, like, not your famous, big A-listers, but your regular, blue collar, so to speak, actors. A ton of them make a living from doing a bunch of the stupid Hallmark Christmas movies.
Yeah. And there's thousands of them.
Oh, yeah. Because every year there's Hallmark Channel and everybody else, they'll have a dozen or more new Christmas horror movies, and they basically cost nothing to make.
Right. They cost about the same as a horror movie.
No, they cost less in a lot of cases.
Because
you don't have to worry about special effects. Yeah. All they have to really worry about is,
I guess,
is and they don't have to have any names. Like the actors, they don't have to have anything that brings people in. Horror movies will still get some somewhat recognizable names, and there'll be some kind of special effects. They're closer to like a found footage almost. They're not quite to the level of that, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy. There's actually I forget the name of it, but in Canada, there's a whole entire town that is Christmas movie. It's where they shoot all a ton of the Christmas Hallmark movies.
Really, in Canada?
Yeah. It's I think
sense.
I want to say it's outside of Toronto, but it's basically a whole little Christmas village that year round in the middle of the summer, there'll be all this Christmas looking stuff because they're shooting all these Hallmark movies there. It's where the vast majority of them are shot.
That's great.
So, because I've heard a lot of low budget indie horror movies and stuff, they'll go shoot in that same area. Rebecca McKendry was talking about it. She did her, trying to remember what movie it was, but she did a movie up there because there's all the same, all the sound people, the lighting people, all those people. It doesn't matter what the location looks like. All those people are up there kind of working year round. And so a lot of little indie movies will go up there and, have people that are working on, the Christmas Hallmark movies work on their movie as well. It's because they're already all up there.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, because it's easier to shoot movies in Canada sometimes. And because it's always cold and snowy up there, you can do it. I was looking for
these are shot in the summer. There's no snow or any of that. It's all fake. You can't, most Christmassy or snowy kind of movies, they don't, it's kind of like Christmas Bloody Christmas was shot up the hill from me in Placerville. There's no snow there. They shot it in the middle of summertime. Most
they just make all the summertime. Yeah, that makes sense. You
can't control when there's actual cold weather. It's very hard to control it.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But that's how you get horrible shit like the green one where everything is CGI snow and it's so fake. They didn't even shoot it at night and everything looks all jacked up. Oh
God, they did day for night. Because I remember not watching that.
Oh, it's so bad. That movie was so
God.
bad.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was trying to find some screenshots of my Christmas short film to try to show, but I couldn't find any, so I'm not gonna. But
how long is your Christmas movie?
I think it's 13 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's nothing we can show on the channel.
But a shorter short.
But yeah, well, yeah. All my shorts are not long at all. The longest is 13 minutes.
Isn't a short technically 45 or less?
Yeah.
Although I mean, I guess
45 minutes
an hour, anything less than an hour really could fit into the shorts category. But for most awards, I think it's 45 minutes.
Yeah, so 45-minute short films, I'm why don't you just make a feature?
Yep.
You got,
but sometimes sometimes that 15 or 20 minutes will ruin a project. It's I'd almost rather just stick with, I'm a big believer, same with even YouTube videos. Make it as long as it needs to be, not a minute more.
Yeah, but
too often you see things that are so padded and it ruins it when it's
that's what I'm
been
trying
really
to say.
good if it was tight.
Yeah, like a lot of short films are way longer than they're supposed to be. That's why
Yeah.
I kept mine down to like 13 minutes. Like I have a 3-minute short film, because it's like this is all we need to see. This is all we need, needs to happen for the story. This is it. We don't need all this extra crap. But
yeah, because I think there's like a sweet spot with that. Because it's like if I'm going to sit down and watch something, if it's anything over 20 minutes, then I'm kind of like with you. I'm like, I need to be in that. I'm just watching a movie mode.
Right. Exactly. It's like, I only got so much time, guys. If it's a short film, like, come on.
So when it's like 30 to 45 minutes, it's weird. It's like even if it's good, it still feels like there should be more to it. Cause you're just like,
that's why, like, I got so pissed. So, like, have you seen, I'm going to forget what it's called. Hang on. I got to look it up. But I remember it's this Indiegogo. It was this Kickstarter campaign or something like that for this short film about this guy. It was like super 80s inspired. And that was the whole niche. That was the whole kitschiness of it, was that it was supposed to be this like 80s inspired action movie where this guy time travels and kung fu fights Hitler. Do you know what I'm talking about?
That sounds fun though.
Oh my God. Well, so anyway,
dude, there's so many Indiegogo shorts, man.
I'll find it.
I'm constantly getting people hitting me up and be like, "Hey, we got an Indiegogo short. Can you help us promote it?"
I know,
like,
dude. I you know what? God, okay. I'm gonna go on a rant here. First, I want to talk about this Kickstarter campaign for this short film, and then I want to rant about Kickstarter campaigns for short film. Okay, because I think this is important. So, firstly, this they never said it was a short film when they were on the Kickstarter. They said they were making a movie. This was going to be a feature-length movie. They raised over $1 million for this movie, and I'm like, hell yeah!
What?
We're gonna.
How do you not make a movie if you raise $1 million?
Anyway, when I backed the Kickstarter, I was supposed to get a Blu-ray of the movie. I was supposed to get a signed poster by the creator and whatever. I was supposed to get all of this stuff, and I didn't. But I was made aware of the release of the movie, and it was a 27-minute short film.
Dude, someone just pocketed like a bunch of money.
Yeah.
There's no way I don't even know what you would do with $1 million on a 27-minute movie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even like, I mean, Chris Stuckman raised $1 million and made a full-on movie that got picked up by Neon.
Kung Fury. I just looked it up. It was called Kung Fury. So for those of you that want to look it up, I don't think there's a
Kickstarters, the legit ones, nobody makes money from them. Like everything they make goes right into the project. So like the producers, directors, like those people, whoever's making it, they don't make any money from it. It's like my buddy Cecil over on the Horror Channel when he raised money for Dylan's New Nightmare, and he's making Dylan's New Nightmare 2, or like Never Hike Alone. Those movies, like those guys haven't made a red cent. Like they literally, legally, you're not even allowed to make money from it.
You're not?
Yeah. When you do those, like a Kickstarter type of program, when you're making the movie, if you're making it, like you have to claim it on your taxes if you do. And so vast majority of those, they spend every penny of it into the project. Otherwise they're on the line for all those taxes.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
it's like a complicated thing. Cause like if you raise $1 million, well, you have to pay taxes on that. But if you pay it all out to people, you're basically 1099ing it. They have to pay the taxes, but you're not collecting money. So you don't have to pay taxes on it.
Lux, no, it got made. I'm going to show you guys the trailer, but it got made, but it's a short film, not a feature film. And I was led to believe that this was going to be a feature film. But here's the trailer. We're gonna watch the trailer. It's an awesome look. Like this got me hooked because they made this trailer as a concept for it, and they're like, we're gonna make this movie. So here it is.
So this was made before they even raised the money.
Hey, you got a permit for those guns? I got your permit right here.
All units, we have an ongoing shootout at 24th and Northwest Street.
I'm on it.
So that's the guy. This is the guy who started the campaign. Who has been raising all the money and doing all this stuff, and was they were going to make this
How long
movie.
ago was this?
This was like 2013, 2014, somewhere around there.
And they made a short movie, but that was it?
That was it.
Dude, it's totally Bollywood.
Yeah.
He's a Kung Fu renegade comp.
I don't want to hear it, Kung Fury. I've just been at City Hall. You just destroyed an entire city block, for Christ's sake.
I quit.
Now he must defeat the most evil Kung Fu master in the world, Adolf Hitler, aka Kung Fuer.
Hitler. He's the worst criminal of all.
I mean, just would you not jump at the opportunity to fund something like this? I mean, this is a great looking trailer.
Yeah, but it's all editing.
I mean, yeah, it's all green screened. I mean, the guy's talented. I mean, it's, you know,
What I'm saying is, it's like, I don't see why he would need to raise a lot of money to make this. That's why I feel like it literally is just a scam.
Yeah.
All time. I'm ready to kill him. I can hack you back in time to Nazi Germany, just like a time machine.
But I do know that there is a big, I've heard there's a real kind of seedy underbelly when it comes to little movie projects raising money for them and stuff, because there's a lot of people that just pocket a shitload of money from these different projects.
Yeah.
That's why it's like important to know who you're supporting.
I guess.
Like, I am all for supporting independent films. They have to be, you know, we got to do that. But like, you know, I don't know. It's just like a lot of things, man. There's people that are scammers out there that just take advantage of people, you know?
Lux, I don't think you get the joke of what this is supposed to be. Like, this is a very well done 80s parody. Like,
yeah, it's supposed to be bad. Like I said, it's Bollywood. It's like Bollywood inspired kind of.
Yeah. This is supposed to be bad. This is the trash movies, not trash, but like this is like the trash, like just gonzo bonkers movies that they were making in the 80s. You know, where all of the memes come from with like the renegade cop and stuff like that. Like that's what it was. Like this is all. I mean, look at this. Come on.
It's why I love a movie like Hobo with a Shotgun. Or exactly. Turbo Kid. Turbo Kid is the best one that I've ever seen. For
Too
that
far back in time. This is the goddamn Viking Age. I'm a cop from the future. I need your help.
Anyway, so this
I almost don't know if this could ever, and that may be why they ended up making a short, because I don't really think that this is something could ever work as a full movie.
Why not?
Because when it's this silly, it's like the joke wears off. You know what I mean? It's like you start to get tired of it.
Oh, not me, dude. No, not me. So there's a movie. Have you seen Skeleton Cop?
That's why I think both the movies I mentioned are perfect, because there's still story to them. They're still doing things. It's not just one crazy over the top goofy thing after another.
No,
there still has to be a movie there.
I don't know, man. But I just when it's this tongue in cheek and this aware of itself, like
but for an hour and a half.
Yeah, for an hour and a half. Have you seen Velocipaster?
Yeah, or like, but I'm not a big fan of those. It's just like, like the concept is great. It's like Lamageddon. It's like, you know, or what is it, Killer Sofa or whatever. It's like they're fun for like about 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes, but then it starts to be like, okay, if there's not an actual movie, you know, like some story to it, something there. Right. If it's just lots of silly, bad stuff, it gets tiring.
The story is that he has to go back and kung fu fight Hitler. That's the story.
But it's.
I know what you're saying,
but like that premise sounds great. But like,
I'm the story guy. Like that's what I'm always bitching about. I get it, but there's just something about these kinds of movies, like this kind of movie, Velocipaster, She Kills, Skeleton Cop. Like I can watch those movies, and they're just like what you said, Hobo with the Shotgun. Like I can watch
Yeah.
these movies and just know that they're supposed to be this trash,
Well,
and
yeah,
I can
but
enjoy
Hobo
them.
with a Shotgun has like story and has
It
scene
does.
and characters, and like like I think all I'm saying is it's a lot harder to do a good one.
No, you're right.
And I think it works a lot better. Like a perfect example is Tree Venge. Tree Venge is amazing, dude, but it only is 20. It's like 15, 20 minutes. If it was longer than that, it would just, start to get boring.
So let me clear
But like
something
when it's
up.
15, 20 minutes, it's fucking awesome.
I want to clear something up because Lux said this project would never need to raise. No, it didn't. I don't think that the original Kickstarter was asking for $1 million. I think the original Kickstarter was asking for like 10 or 20,000.
Yeah,
And
that's what it should be.
And it just blew up, and they made like over $1 million.
Yeah,
And
but what
so
did they do with it? That's the problem. Like,
right? No, you're right. What did they do with it? Yeah, they probably just pocketed it because we definitely didn't get a feature length. I never got my Blu-ray. I got was the short film, and which was like I had fun with. I liked it.
That feels like someone from like another country or some shit. Just because anybody here will be on the line with the IRS. Like you raise that amount of money and you don't show receipt. Like IRS will audit you in a second.
Right.
And if you don't show receipts for all that money, like, dude, you're on, like I was saying before, like, that's why it's hard to make these little indie movies and make a living yourself because you have to still 1099 it. So if you pay yourself anything, it's just like anything else. You have to pay taxes on all that.
Right.
So you have to put yourself on it like you would any business is like, this is my salary. And then
I know what you were saying earlier. I'm just wondering if like that is actually something that the IRS could come after you about, because like those were all not stretch goals, but those were people that were just donating. They were just over donating. So it's like, what are you supposed to do? They had their stretch goals, but I don't think their stretch goals ever reached $1 million. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's just like with Terrifier, like the first, like Terrifier 2, Damien Leone didn't make any money from it. Like pretty much nobody made money from it, from the initial GoFundMe. Then the movie made a bunch of money in theaters and all that. Then they were able to then they took some money from it. So that's how all those people ended up making money. But like the whole cast and everybody for Terrifier 2, when they raised the $250,000 to make it, they didn't take a single penny because then you're on the hook with the IRS.
Who didn't? Damien Leone didn't?
Yeah, none of them.
So what did they spend it on?
On making the movie.
No, I understand, but you got to pay actors. You got to pay.
No,
you got to like.
As far as I know, they didn't. I mean, some of them, like Lauren Lavera, probably got paid maybe something. I know Damon Leone didn't take any money from what I've heard, and this is just secondhand. I haven't heard this from them, but from what I know, even David R. Thornton didn't really make any money on it. It was until after the movie came out, and it ended up making $10 million in theaters, and then they ended up getting it. Like they all got money on the back end. They were going the front end. But it went to special effects, like it went to material cost. It went to hiring people to come in and do things like they spent them. That's how you make independent movies. Like if you making these movies, you can't really get any money from them, because if you actually pocket money from it, then you got to pay taxes on, and it gets super complicated.
Yeah.
Most of them, they'll pay their expenses. So it's like, while you're working on the movie, you can pay for your life expenses and things like that, but you got to have receipts for everything.
Right.
So that's why most of them, they don't pocket anything, because it just gets really crazy, complicated when you deal with all that. So they make money when the movie makes money.
Lux, I watched movies, I don't know, the same way that a lot of people probably do. I just went and found things. I also had a lot of people recommend stuff to me. So like about super niche movies, like I had a lot of people recommend things to me, and I would watch them. I didn't like a lot of it, but I mean, I would still watch it. There were some gems that I found that I liked, but other than that, but that's just to answer your question about how I watched movies and how I found out about them. A lot of it was recommendations. But anyway, so yeah, this is this is also something that I don't think, just based on what we were talking about as far as like taxes go and everything, all of the different responsibilities and just attention that you have to pay to everything. I don't think independent filmmakers should be making movies by Indiegogo or Kickstarter or crowdsourcing. I don't think that they should be doing that. I think a lot of independent filmmakers should focus more on trying to raise money through private investments or like sponsorships or something like that, or putting up their own money. I think a lot of people, like, I just watched a campaign fail, and that's going to hurt you in the long run. Because if you try to set up another one, people are going to look at your history and they're going to see that your campaign failed. And so they're going to be like, so that's not going to give them confidence that you're going to be able to raise
Well,
next time.
I think the best way to do it is like the way Chris Stuckman did it, where you have, it's like if I were to be at a point where I don't have the clout or anything like that right now, but I could see in a couple years from now with the Ghost Pirate brand and, you know, what I'm doing on this channel, being able to, like, you know, because I literally get comments constantly. People are like, when are you going to make a movie? When, you know, because they want to see what ideas I could come up with. And so I feel like if you build a platform and like that's why I was saying you need to know who you're supporting. And I think it also kind of goes the other way, where you shouldn't be asking people to blindly give you money for something. Like, it's like, if you're a credible source, you're a filmmaker, you have other things. That's why I tell filmmakers constantly, make shorts, man. Make shorts that you can get grants. Like, you know how easy, dude, you can get grants all day long from the city, from art department budgets and stuff. Like, I know so many people.
Hang on. Depending on your city. Okay. I also went the grant route, and it's not that easy. Especially like Jacksonville does not have,
it's not easy to write grants, but I'm saying it is like,
you can apply.
It's available.
But
grant writing's hard. It's like you generally got to hire a grant writer.
Yeah, no, it's like a full-time. It's like a full-time job.
Yeah,
right?
I know. I did the whole art, making a living as an artist. I know an artist. That's the only. A lot of people don't know that, but like, if you're a visual medium artist, the only way you really make a living is from grants. Like, that's pretty much how you make a living.
But like what you were saying, somebody with a platform like yours, somebody with a following like yours, and like what Chris Stuckman did. Yes, those are the kinds of people that could be successful in crowdfunding, because they've already built up an audience. But it's not just being successful.
It's like I said, you shouldn't be asking of perfect strangers for money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like a handout kind of, you know what I mean? It's like you're basically, like, it's like a higher form of panhandling. The way I see a lot of these GoFundMe projects, you know, it's like,
well, that's what it is.
Yeah. And that's I agree with you.
Well,
to an extent,
because
I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I think you should be like a legit and
you're not
having a legit idea and project and something, and not just being like, hey, send me money.
Yeah, well, I guess let me walk that back a second, because it's not like if you're supporting a GoFundMe or if you're supporting a crowdfunding campaign, it's not like you're giving money for nothing. You know, you are getting something in return, right? So I'm not sure it's exactly panhandling, but I think what you're trying to say is if you're just a nobody and you're going out there asking for money, people are going to look at that and go, "Who are you? Why should I give you money?"
I don't know, man. I know, and I'm not alone in this. I've supported a bunch of different GoFundMe, or what's the other one I keep spacing on?
Indiegogo.
I've supported a bunch of those, and I know people that have supported a bunch of those, and you rarely get anything. And if you do get your stuff, you know, it's like you're paying $50 for a $10 t-shirt. You know what I mean? Or you're paying $80 for a Blu-ray and a signed picture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a one-to-one. It's not like you're just buying stuff from a merch shop. So like most people, when they do that, they're not doing it because they're trying to, like, because they want the products they're giving money for. They're wanting that project to happen. And it's not just movies. I mean, there's tons of businesses that have gotten their start from GoFundMe. It's just, it feels like it's one of the most messed up things to basically not even make, because it's not like anybody's really getting anything for their money. It's all about wanting that project to happen. And it's such a messed up thing to not even really do the project if you get, this lump sum of money. I don't know, but the thing is, for everyone that's like a scammer on there, there's a dozen other amazing projects that only happen because there's something like that in place.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm not saying that it's all bad. I just think too many indie filmmakers get burned by the crowdfunding process because they don't understand how to do it or why people are donating to these things, and how to build trust and build that relationship, especially when it's something where, like, I've seen Indiegogo campaigns where they're trying to raise like $3,000, and it's like, man, get like a paper route. You know what I mean? Like, go drive for Lyft or something. Like, obviously there's going to be people, don't fucking type in the chat about anybody that can't go do Lyft or whatever. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when it's that kind of money, you can just raise that yourself. Most of the time, I know that there's outliers. Please do not say anything in the chat. Please. I'm just saying, if you're going to be going for an Indiegogo campaign or a crowdfunding campaign, I think it should be something that is like a little loftier, It
shouldn't be your first. Well,
right. It should not be your
shouldn't be your first thing you do. It's
correct.
Like,
right.
And I agree. It feels like we've gotten to a point now where a lot of artists think, it's not just filmmakers, but just artists in general, or really anybody, like, thinks they could just go that as their first and only route. And it is very limiting too, because if you, like you said, if you fail at that, then it's like, then where do you go?
Right.
So that's why I think it's
that's
important
what it is, because if you fail,
to look into all your different avenues,
Yeah, and if you fail, like I was saying earlier, if you fail at a crowdfunding campaign, people are going to look at that in the future and they're going to say, "Well, he failed this one. That doesn't give me confidence that he's going to make, that he's going to be successful on this next one." So I think a lot like what you were saying, make short films first. Cut your teeth on short films with no money,
make
with
fucking
no budget.
YouTube videos.
And
literally, I don't know why there's not more filmmakers doing that. Just get it, like, whatever camera, whatever, your phone, like, whatever you can afford. The same way I started this channel, like, I didn't have anything. I literally had a phone. That was it. And I have been able to build, it's still small in the scheme of things, but I'm making a living, you know what I mean? And my point is like, if you want to make movies, make fucking movies. You want to make art, whatever it is, like, start making it. And however way you can come up with, like, dude, that's why I was so impressed with Milk and Cereal. Those guys made a movie for like a couple $100. I think it was like $100, like, literally, like, basically no money, and just their friends. And they put it and they could have made money immediately. Like, they had distributors offer them money to put that movie out because it's good. And they still just said, no, we're putting it on our channel. So it's like, literally, it's all them. They're not asking for help from anybody. Like, if it makes money, which now it's made money, it's all, but not only to be able to now invest and do other things.
Not only did it make money, but it grew their platform and it grew their influence base. And so now they have a built-in audience to where anything that they make is going to get seen. And that's
what I was talking about before. Like, just go and, like build a platform, like, before you ask for money. Like, all you're going to do is like burn people and make a lot of people upset if you try to go that route. Like, instead, try to build something, because it also, you build ideas too, and you, as a creator or artist or whatever, learn a lot. And it's kind of like, if you haven't made a movie and you're trying to get money to make a movie, how much or how far do you think that money's going to stretch if you don't know how to do it?
Right.
But like, if you cut your teeth on all these other projects and you've learned along the way and done a bunch of stuff, worked on other people's movies, like whatever, then you're not going to squander any resources that you do get.
Right. You're going to have an appreciation for it, and you're going to know how to stretch those dollars when you have them.
I mean, look at a great example of being able to blow the fuck up is, look at the guys, the Raka brothers.
Oh yeah.
Dude, like, because not only did they make Talk to Me, which critically acclaimed, made a bunch of money, like all this, right? And now the world is their oyster. They have opportunities from every direction. But they had built a huge platform on YouTube before that, making these little movies that started out being like 30 seconds to a minute long. these weird skits, and then as time went by, they got money. They did more and more special effects, and I mean, you got channels like Corridor Crew now is over 10 million subscribers, and they've made all kinds of. They have their own website where they make their own series and movies and like all this stuff. And they started out the same, just literally knew how to use computers, learned how to do editing and special effects and stuff on their computers, and started making their own movies. And now they have Corridor Crew Digital. It's like they're, their own production company.
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways you can go. And that's one of the ways you can, but you got to make a good film. You got to make something good.
Yeah. You got to just do people. It's like the whole winning the lottery thing. That's why I've always said, I have no desire to win the lottery. I don't play the lottery because I don't want to win it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want money for nothing, because you don't learn anything going that route. That money means nothing.
True.
It's like, if you, like, everybody wants this get rich quick kind of thing. It's the same way with being an artist or whatever. The truth is, most people that are successful have had a long journey and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get there. And even the ones that look like they are overnight, like I've heard people talk about Chapel Roan is like, man, overnight sensation. Or what's the other one that's blowing up right now? I forget her name, but anyway, and it's like, dude, Chapel Roan, if you go online and look, dude, she's got shit playing the same songs that are now like top 40 huge hits, right? Playing the same songs 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, there is no overnight success.
In clubs and like, yeah,
there is no overnight success.
But we should get to the comments. Like, listen.
Yeah, the comments are, stop talking about this. That's what the comments are. It's what they seem to be. Lux has been very active and trying to get us to change the topic. Polar Knights on Twitch likes this show because they get ideas of how to dress when they need to blend in at Daytona 500. Okay. I think Daytona 500 is cool. I don't know. Are they pretty fashionable?
I don't know how to get. I don't understand that.
Whatever. Thanks, Polar Knights. I think I don't know. Thank you.
Do I look like the people that are at Daytona 500?
No, and I don't think I do either. But
I just don't. I
don't
know what that means.
Hey, thanks for the view, though. We approve. Thank you. Let's see. You guys are talking about creep in the chat.
The creep tapes, or
wait, is it creep tapes or just creep with the Mark Duplass? What are you guys talking about?
Well, he's got the new series, Creep Tapes. I still need to watch that, man. I got to get caught up on a bunch of stuff.
I saw the first one and like I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was good enough.
The movie or the first episode?
No, I watched the first movie, just Creep.
Yeah.
I thought it was good, but I didn't think that it was like, I didn't think we needed another one. And now like this, whatever this Creep Tapes are. But
I've heard Creep Tapes is like awesome. Like,
yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what makes it so special, but I've only seen the first movie too, and I really liked it. I started Creep 2, but I don't think I finished Creep 2. I don't know. Once again, I'm always a big supporter though of like found footagey type of stuff. Like when it's done right, it just can be super creepy.
Yeah. So my favorite like found footage.
What's up, Ralph?
Trying to find where's Ralph? There he is.
Yeah.
You think Mark Duplass gets annoying, right? Isn't that Mark Duplass?
A lot of people think he gets annoying, but that's kind of part of it.
Dude, the Duplass brothers are like, they started the mumblecore genre, didn't they?
I don't think they're brothers.
I thought they were. I thought they were the Duplass brothers. I thought it was Mark and somebody else. Yeah, come on.
I don't know.
Anyway, but if there's any fans of the mumblecore genre,
we're derailed. We're derailed. Let's get back to Christmas.
We're not derailed. We're just talking shit. And that's,
I know, but we're supposed to talk Christmas.
I know. Well, okay, then yes, we're derailed because, how far can you go on Christmas? Like we talk about our favorite Christmas horror movies, which are all going to be the same.
Well, no, I want to know chat. I want to know what their favorite Christmas movies are.
Okay, chat. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
I want to talk about, what everybody's plans for Christmas are and stuff. Like I want to actually talk to chat for a change, because we don't get, for the last 20 minutes, I'm like, it'd be nice to kind of spend time with our chat.
We do
What's
whatever.
up, Prop Dude?
We want. There's
Prop Dude made this and like a whole box of different ones they have up there. All these different.
That's excellent work.
Hellraiser. Yeah, it's from the newest Hellraiser. This one is this one is the La Durant. That's one of my favorites, so I put that one up there. But then he also made where's the other one?
Lux, I gotta scroll. Lux has like 5 chats per second, and I have to. Mumblecore is a semi-scripted genre that is dependent on dialogue, and is like very low budget. So one of the
never really understood what the hell is Mumblecore either.
It's usually character dramas. That's usually what it is. And it's more focused on dialogue than it is anything else. One of the most, it's one of the Duplass brothers' like first short films. I forget what it's called, but all it is this guy comes home and he tries to re-record his answering machine, like the message that he leaves on his answering machine. And it's like 5 or 6 minutes of just him struggling to do that. And that's like the birth of Mumblecore. But then you have other movies that take place that are like pretty much just dialogue heavy and character drama. Like that's what Mumblecore is. You don't see it a lot in horror, but it's it's a genre that a lot of people like. But that was
like big in the early, like mid 2000s or like 2000 teens.
Yes. So that's it. So okay, guys, yeah. So your favorite Christmas movies, what are they? Because we in the first 5 minutes talked about what they were.
And what are you guys doing for Christmas? I am going to see Nosferatu with my sister on Christmas Day.
I gotta find somebody to go with.
Yeah, I could have seen it at home on a screener, but I was like, man, I'm not gonna watch Nosferatu at home on my computer.
No, yeah, dude, you got to see it in the theater.
Not gonna do it, yeah. But it sucks because like all these other YouTubers I'm friends with, like they all saw this movie already, like weeks ago, and I'm like, ugh. But I am not going to put out my end of the year. This is how much I have faith in that movie, is that I won't make my best of the year video yet until I see it, because I think it's going to be in my, I think it'll be in the upper half of the top 5. Like it has a chance to be up there.
I have been actively not consuming any Nosferatu media since
I haven't watched any reviews of.
Yeah. I haven't
even watched the newest trailer. Like I watched that, I think the first trailer that we watched on here.
Right.
And I think that's the only thing I've seen of it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go in there as my speed.
Yeah. I want to go in there as blind as possible. And I swear to like, there's no way Robert Eggers can screw that up.
No.
Right. Like there's no way.
Yeah. The only thing I could see people maybe I don't think I'll have a problem with it, but I could see people being like, it's slow, it's boring, like they do with The Witch. But like, I don't feel that way. Like I said, I think it's my speed. Like I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Jack says,
I like that moody, creepy, atmospheric slow burn.
Yeah. I just like Robert Eggers.
Yep.
Like, so that's what it is. Jack says he's been a fair at Rare Exports. I didn't like that movie when I saw it. It's
what?
I thought they were going to go, what did I think about it? Because I only saw it once.
That's in my top 10.
I only saw it once, like 3 years ago, and I don't remember liking it. Maybe I need to watch it again, but I just don't remember liking it the first time that I watched it. I remember being pretty underwhelmed at the end. That's what I remember about it.
I love that filmmaker. Like he also did Sisu in 2022.
Yes, I like Sisu. I thought Sisu was great. Yep. That was the same guy. I didn't know that. Yeah, I thought Sisu was great. Daniel says he likes the Tales from the Crypt episode where the killer dresses as Santa and the kid trusted him because Santa. Oh, do you remember what that?
I only vaguely remember that episode. I do.
Do you remember what that episode was called, Daniel? Nosferatu is not a remake, right? I think it's an original take on Nosferatu. It's not. They're not trying to remake or is it technically a remake? Maybe it is.
I think it's well, it is and it isn't. If I remember correctly, or not, if I remember correctly, I know this for sure. It's basically what The Thing was.
Right.
So it's like it's his own imagining of the same source material, I guess. Like,
It's
because aren't
hopefully
they
going to
all based off of that original Dracula?
Yeah, it's hopefully going to
book
be
or
a
whatever?
very original take on the Nosferatu story, which
Yeah.
is what The Thing was. Because,
Yeah.
like, right, The Thing was technically a remake from A Thing from Another World,
Yeah,
but it
they're
was very much
pretty
its
different.
own original thing. Yeah. So I think that's what this is going to be.
I think it might have like basically the same story. So like but it's the same story as Dracula, like all the different Dracula movies. Like it's literally, it is the old Dracula story. The guy goes, it's, you know what I mean? It's like all the same. That's why anybody that's going to see this that isn't big on visuals, it's like we all kind of know the story. Like there'll be a few little changes, I'm sure, here and there, but like it's a pretty simple story.
Lex, we're talking about Nosferatu right now. Earlier we were talking about rare exports. That's what I said I was underwhelmed by. I was underwhelmed by the ending. That's what we're talking about. Now we're talking
I have
about
a feeling
Nosferatu.
Lux is very young.
Or just very energetic. Because like look at this. 1, 2, 3 chats, like all within like 5 seconds. Yeah, the Herzog one. Christopher says, watch the Herzog one from 79. Yeah,
That's a good example because it's pretty different. I mean, it's still the same, basically the same story, but feels pretty different than the silent movie.
Yeah, and the guy who Werner Herzog, talk about a crazy person. He has a masterclass. So if you go to that website, masterclass, Werner Herzog has like on filmmaking, on writing, on like stuff like that. Like he has masterclasses on this. I watched all of them, and this man he's a crazy person. Like the things that he did while making his movies are completely insane. Like lying,
like he's the one that with the ship, right? The whole
the guy who had the boat. Yeah, I forget what that movie's
holy
called,
crap,
but
that story's crazy. That dude.
Oh my god,
everything in his movies is kind of real. Like that's kind of the big thing about his movies. It's not like you're seeing stunts and stuff. You're seeing people pretty much do what they're doing. Everything is very, very hyper real. Like if people are muddy and dirty, they're actually muddy and dirty.
They're muddy and dirty, right? It's not makeup because they
like he wants everything earned. He wants to feel the realness of it.
Leslie says favorite Christmas watch is The Yattering and Jack.
Leslie
by Clive Barker and Tales from the Dark Side. The Yattering and Jack. I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. The Yattering Jack. I've never even heard of that.
Yourself, Vanity says, Tales from the Crypt, have yourself a scary little Christmas.
Yeah, that is,
We gotta watch it. Christopher says it's going to be a goth wet dream. Yeah.
3, I think. What?
Oh, Christopher says it's going to be a goth wet dream. Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, that's what I mean by if you're not into the visuals and the mood of it, then because I mean that's his thing in general. You know what I mean? Like all his movies are about the mood and the feel of them. It's
right.
It's much more than because like The Witch is a pretty basic story. Like if you just break down what the story is, it's a pretty basic story. But there's so much layering when it comes to the mood of it, the lighting of it, the dialogue, like the way that it's said, the performances, like that's what makes them so deep. It's not that the story is so complex.
Right. Yes, Christopher, Augier, I never know how to say that word. Augieri and the Wrath. Oh God, Augieri. Oh fuck me. And the Wrath of God. Yes, yes, that is a very good example of Werner Herzog being crazy. James, I like Herzog too. I just think he's a crazy person.
I know. I don't know what I've seen of his. I know I've seen some of his
most
stuff, at least in parts.
His most, I shouldn't say his most popular, but his most commercially popular movie is Bad Lieutenant. So I don't know if you saw that.
I've seen that. No, he's mostly just known for being like an artist, where he's like, it's kind of like those musicians out there that, you know, like a band like Quicksand or something that barely sells any records, but they're so about the technique and about the artistry of it and all that. They don't try to, like, they don't write anything for anybody else. They're very selfish.
So like mapcore bands
artists. And like, yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's fine. I was that way for a portion of my life, but then I got to a point where I was like, it's so self-serving and selfish, and it kind of becomes miserable. Like when you're not doing anything with other people in mind, it's like such a selfish, dismal way of seeing the world.
Yeah.
It's why I had to stop doing visual medium art, really. I mean, there's lots of reasons, but that's one of the biggest. So it was like I was always having to dig into these hollow, empty places to find my inspiration, so to speak. And it was all about me. Like everything was about my feelings, my thoughts, my whatever. It wasn't about making something that other people could enjoy or that would impact them in any way or whatever. So,
well, you know, they say to make good art, you have to suffer a little, you know?
Yeah. I don't buy it.
You don't
I don't
think
think
so?
that's the way. No, I don't really think that's
you
the
don't
way
gotta
it
hurt
works.
a little. You don't gotta go through. You don't.
No, but I think you simply will. I think you have to be willing to, and you will along the way. But I don't think you have to. Like, there's a lot of artists that like almost like they live the martyr life, and I don't think I don't buy that at all. I don't think you have to be a miserable human or a martyr or any of that. It's just some of that's going to happen to you in your journey.
No. I'm not saying you have to be miserable. I'm just saying you have, because like think of all the great artists. Like they're all like tortured artists, or they have like just, you know, all these.
Yeah, but then you have someone like Picasso, who's considered one of the greatest artists, right? And the guy lived like a king. He was a piece of shit, but he like he lived like a king.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Bad about, you know, Dali is another example. I just don't think you have to. I think there's gonna be. I think as a human on planet Earth, you're gonna deal with stuff in your life, and I don't think it matters. I don't like
existence is
the
suffering.
reason I say this is like I lived in the art world for so long, in that like artist world, and it's like almost like you choose to go down the hard road, and you choose to be struggle and to be poor and to whatever. Like the whole starving artist concept. I think it's, you hear a lot of artists talk about this now. Like it's something that's kind of changing now. And it's like, you don't need to be a starving artist to be a good artist.
Yeah. No, I don't think you need to. I think the problem is the reason why we have a lot of the starving artist trope, and, you know, why artists are mostly like poorer, is because that side of the brain that is like the analytical side or the business side, you know, ways that, you know, you can monetize art, is just not active as much in those kinds of people. It's why you always have it's why you have like, and I'm speaking strictly from like a filmmaking aspect, because that's the only art that I am most familiar with is filmmaking and music. And just, you know, being a filmmaker and a musician, I know very much how, you know, the first thought in our head is not how do I make money off of my art. The first thought is how do I make art, and how do I make my art better? You know, we have to teach.
Yeah, but I think I think that's where this whole kind of misnomer lies. It's like a couple things converge. Like you have to pay your dues. And a lot of times paying your dues means being like you're in music, right? Paying your dues means you're going to ride around in a van eating bologna sandwiches. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's what you got to do your art, to perform, whatever. But if you are able to drive around because like say someone has money or invest in you or whatever, and so you can fly around instead of driving around, and you can play in these nicer places and have a hotel and whatever, I don't think it's going to make you have lesser music. And I think that's where the problem is. It's like it isn't the road and being poor and struggling that is making the good music. It's like, it doesn't have to be that way. I just don't buy it. I don't think you have to be like struggling person to have inspiration.
No, I agree. I don't think you have to. I definitely agree.
A lot of people feel that way. Like they, like there's all those stories of like bands like Metallica where, or Motley Crue, where they like, slept in a little closet basically and were poor as shit. And but then it's like, when you know the true story, it's because they were doing a bunch of fucking drugs and partying and not being serious. If they had been serious businessmen in that point, they could have bypassed a lot of that. But they were teenagers and they were just being punk rock and partying, like goofing around, so to speak. So
just being idiots. Yeah.
A businessman coming in, seeing what they were doing and putting it out.
But when you're in your late teens, early 20s, like they were, they're not thinking about it,
But what I guess, because what I'm saying though is like, you could be a 20-year-old, and if you're not into partying or drugs or any of that, and you do have a professional mind, you could still make good art and package it yourself, put it out independently. Like I know a lot of young artists that do this kind of stuff now. Like the world is changing. Like there's so many young artists that are independent. Like I was talking about with Chapel Roan, like she paid her dues, but at the same time, it wasn't like she was just partying and being goofy. She was marketing herself and promoting herself and doing the things right, and did bypass like a lot of the crazy shit. And, she was poor to a certain extent and did have to kind of move from a small town Midwest to California. And you know what I mean? Like she did have to do some of these wise business decisions, but in a couple of years, she was able to blow up and pop off, and her talent. And I don't think she had to be struggle and all that to make her art form.
Yeah.
It's, it is a lot of times part of the process, but I don't think that in and of itself is what makes the good art. It's just, you got to pay your dues.
Yeah. Sorry, they're talking about the substance in the chat, and I want to weigh in on this. I want to talk about it. Daniel says Demi Moore could win an Oscar for The Substance. I don't think she'll win,
but I think she could be nominated.
She's definitely not going to win. Lux says she could, but does she deserve it, or would she be winning because she's a mainstream actress in the film? No, she deserves it. She put on an incredible performance in The Substance, and
she deserves to be nominated. I don't know if I would say she deserves to win.
Who's she going
up
against?
Wins
for best actress? Who would she be going up against?
We don't know yet. And that's the thing. I haven't seen a lot of the movies where they'll, people that will be nominated against her. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve to win. Well, there's so many of these smaller indie, whatever, these different movies. Like I haven't seen a ton of the different dramas out there that'll be going up against her, but I'm not saying she won't deserve to win. I don't know. I'm saying I haven't seen a lot of the movies, so I can't say she deserves to win. She definitely deserves to be nominated, but I do think if she wins, it will be because of her being Demi Moore.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
I'm expecting her to get
nominated, getting nominated. She deserves it based on what she did. Winning, I think, will be because of, like, there might be a bit of that lifetime achievement award, like Leonardo DiCaprio, like a little bit of that will put her over the top.
Maybe, but we have to see what movie she's going up against, because if she's going up against a bunch of crap movies, then she definitely deserves to win it.
I know there's a lot of people talking about the lead in what is it, Honoria, that comedy drama. I haven't seen it yet, but that one, a lot of people were. Yeah, it's something like that. It's out in theaters right now. Like there's a huge buzz about it. But a lot of people are saying that she is got a good chance at winning it. I don't know. I know every year there's a bunch of these movies, and I don't even see a lot of them. So, like, I mostly focus on horror.
Leslie's saying Toni Collette should have won for Hereditary.
Yeah, that's why if Demi Moore at least gets nominated, I'll be so happy.
Yeah,
because like, dude, we've had Mia Goth should have been nominated at least for one of these fucking movies. Like, I think she should have been nominated for Pearl, and she didn't get any look at all. Toni Collette, in my opinion, 100% should have been nominated. Rebecca Hall should have been nominated for The Night House and for what's the movie she did in 2022? I can't remember. But so good. But my point is, this horror actresses and actors get snubbed every year.
Oh yeah, horror always gets. I mean, this is what they were also talking about in the chat, that horror was always looked down upon. It still is. I mean, like, horror is still the redheaded stepchild to the Academy.
Yeah.
And yes, the Oscars are trash, the Academy's trash, blah blah blah. But they still carry
a ton of weight,
carry a degree of legitimacy. And the more that horror gets that legitimacy, the more people are gonna try to look into it. Yes, they are garbage. Yes, the new standards for winning an Oscar is garbage. We all know this. It's still carries with it a weight.
I feel like we're only a short time away from the Oscars changing, because the old guard is literally old. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
Hollywood is changing, and a lot of it is because a lot of those old motherfuckers are dying.
Good.
Like, that's just the way it is. It's just like politics. Like, it's going to change too, because a lot of the people that run the world are old and they're dying off. And I'm all for that. I'm not saying I want people to die, but I do think the world needs to change, because a lot of the old guard has got a lot of things backwards.
I agree. Prop Dude says Naomi Scott should for Smile too, if we're having that discussion. The character name just makes me think of ulcerative
I think she's
colitis.
incredible in that. I think she was incredible in that
No,
movie.
Naomi Scott was the best part of that movie. Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know if I think she deserves to be nominated for an Academy Award for it.
I wouldn't say that either, but she was very, very good.
But because to me, like, there is a ton of, like, the thing is, a lot of people that are watching this right now, and myself too, like, we watch horror movies, right? But if you watch all the movies, like, I've been watching a bunch of different movies recently because they're doing the Mystery Mondays, and a lot of these are independent movies, these smaller movies that a lot of people don't know about, but that are incredible. Like, I just saw one this week about this female boxer, and it's based on a true story. And, like, the lead in that was just amazing. But, like, a lot of people don't know of this movie. No, it was what? No, that Monsters Ball was like 10 years ago. This is a brand new movie.
There's the new. Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's called,
I'm
like,
trying to keep up with chat and listen at the same time. Like, these guys
like
are going a million miles an hour.
Inside, or
while you're looking it up, Daniel, the Oscars have awarded horror a couple of times. The most notable one is The Exorcist. What?
No, yeah, The Exorcist was nominated, but it didn't win. So Honora is the movie that everybody is raving about, that is going to have a lot of buzz at the Oscars.
Okay, yeah. So The Exorcist won Best Writing.
Yeah.
And Best Sound. It was nominated for a bunch of stuff.
Didn't Jaws get nominated for some stuff? The only one that's won that I know of that is one is because Nope was also, or not Nope, Get Out was also nominated.
Yeah, and then
but the only one that's really won is Silence of the Lambs. That's and I don't even really consider that a horror movie. I've always been kind of on the fence of that being a horror movie. Like, it feels much more like
we don't have time
crime,
to argue about that.
like a crime thriller.
Jaws won Best Editing and Best Music.
Like, I'm not against it. I'm just saying it doesn't feel like a true blue horror movie. Like, to me, if The Substance wins anything, like, that's a true blue horror movie.
Wait, say that again.
Like, Silence of the Lambs, I'm not saying it's not a horror movie, but it kind of feels horror adjacent. Like, it doesn't quite feel like a true blue, everybody agrees this is a horror movie. Whereas if The Substance wins anything, there's no one that'll argue that's a horror movie.
Right. Leslie, you are also correct. Horror is the only genre that is fresh anymore. You're absolutely right.
I don't agree with that. It's indie. Indie films are the only thing that are fresh.
Okay, yes.
Because there are tons of movies that are not in the horror category. Like, Everywhere or Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's not a horror movie, but it was one of the most unique, refreshing, fresh movies of the last 20 years. It's just independent. That's why I love A24, because it's like every year they are the ones that put out the most unique, refreshing movies. Even if you don't like all of them, they're all unique and different.
Oh my God. Oh, we are over. My God.
Damn it. I'm trying to find
for all the complaining about how we don't have a schedule to the show. We've been talking for over an hour and you guys haven't said anything.
What do you mean we don't have a schedule to the show?
We don't, dude. We said
we always
talk
start on time.
We didn't talk about anything.
Oh,
we talked a little bit about Christmas, but listen, this is our show. Okay. We can talk about whatever we want.
Well, I said in the beginning that this was going to just kind of be a hangout. So
it really,
but I can't find this damn movie.
All right. While you're looking for that, we are not on next week, folks. So next week, enjoy Christmas with your family. Go see Nosferatu. That's what we're going to be doing. But then Wednesday after that, that would be January 1st. January 1st. So New Year's Day, we will be streaming. So we will be talking about New Year's Day, what we did, probably what we did over the holidays.
But most importantly, we're doing our top 10.
And then, yes, we are also doing our top 10. So hopefully we stick to that at least. But that's
that is because that's a very important. You got to recap the last year. So
yeah. So please, if you guys are watching on Ghost Pirate side, please come over to the Death Rattle podcast and subscribe to us and watch us over there. There's about 12 of you watching over there and 26 on Ghost Pirate. Please come over to the Death Rattle podcast channel to watch us and chat with us there. We would love to talk to you guys. And I'm sorry that we haven't gotten to a lot of your chats. You guys are very fast today, and we don't have a producer, so it's me. I'm producing this. Like I'm the one that's clicking all these things and trying to read and listen to my co-host at the same time. So please. So anyway, but thanks for watching us, guys. Kanan, did you find that movie yet?
No, but on Honora is that one as the
Honora,
but I can't find a. Damn it. Why is it not listed anywhere all of a sudden? It's so weird.
Okay, just tune in 2 weeks to see if Kanan figured out what that movie was. That's our bait for the next episode. Thanks, guys. Thanks again for watching, guys. We will see y'all in a couple weeks. Bye.
Later.